I'm Jenna Zargarpur, 2nd grade Student Council Association representative at Marshall Elementary School. Since I became an elected representative, I decided to learn more about elected officials in our government, starting with our county representative for the Coles District in Prince William County, Supervisor Martin E. Nohe. My mom helped me line up appointments for interviews, and I decided what to ask Mr. Nohe in our interview. Mr. Nohe, what is your elected job?
I am the Coles District Representative on the Prince William Board of County Supervisors. I'm one of 8 people that serve as the local government for all of Prince William County.
What are the things you do in your job?
You know, I do a lot of different things in this job. My responsibilities are focused on making sure that the quality of life for people here in Prince William County stays a very good quality of life. We deal with what we call land use decisions, which is to say that we decide what types of houses or what types of businesses can be built in different parts of the county. So we oversee the different functions like the police department and the fire and rescue department. We are responsible for making sure that people stay safe. But really the most important thing I do is interact with citizens, interact with the public. When people have problems or questions about their government, they call me or they email me. I answer about 100 emails a day, and I do my best to make sure that people get the information that they need to make sure that they get the services that they need from Prince William County government.
How do you keep your job?
Well, there's 2 ways to answer that question. The easy thing to say is every 4 years I have to run for re-election. I just, a little over a year ago, got elected to my 3rd term in office. And you know, if you've studied in school, the notion of elections, I have to put my name on the ballot and then get more votes than any of the other candidates.
How many hours a day you work?
Well, it depends, I guess, a little bit on how you count, because in addition to being on the Board of Supervisors, I still run my family business. I still have to go into my other job almost every day. So between the 2 jobs, I'll sometimes spend more of my time at my store. Some other times I'll spend most of my time here at the county office. But one way or the other, I work about 12 to 14 hours a day most days. In fact, tonight even, I probably won't get home until after 9:30 tonight because I've got other meetings to go to after I'm done talking to you this evening.
What is your favorite part of your job?
You know, my very favorite part of my job is knowing that little things that I can do to help people can make a big difference in their lives. There's a lot of times when people will call me and they'll have a problem or a concern that is very stressful, very difficult for them to deal with. And after I talk to them a little while, I often discover that something that maybe isn't a very difficult thing for me to do, just by setting up a meeting or by helping introduce them to somebody else who is good at solving those kind of problems, I can bring them solutions that make life for them and their families a lot better. And that's really satisfying for me. I get a lot of excitement when I know I'm making a difference in someone's life.
What's the hardest part of your job?
My hardest part of the job is how much time I spend away from my family. I got young kids. I've got my daughter is 12 and my sons are 10 and 7 and 5. I don't get to see them as much as I'd like to. That's sort of a hard thing. It's also very hard sometimes when people are angry. No one likes to feel like they've made someone angry, but sometimes that happens. When you have to make tough decisions, it's just inevitable that not everyone's going to be happy with what you decide.
What qualities make a good leader?
You know, leadership is something that anyone can do, but it's not something that everyone is necessarily called to do. I think that in order to be a good leader, you first have to be a servant. You have to recognize that leading, some people think of leading and serving as being different things, almost as being opposites of one another. But I like to think of the leader of any group as just being another member of the team, someone who is providing their work and their support and their services by serving as the decision maker or the facilitator for the group. And if you have in your heart the belief that what's most important is serving the people around you, then leadership becomes a lot easier. The other really important thing is a willingness to make difficult decisions and, more importantly, take responsibility for those difficult decisions. I think it's really easy for a lot of people to know what they believe, to know what they want, to know what they think should happen. What's more difficult, and it's very difficult for me sometimes, I think it's difficult for anybody, is to take your beliefs, to take your values, and then turn them into actions which may or may not be well liked by other people, may not make other people happy, but that you know you're doing the right thing and that you're willing to live with the consequences if your decisions don't work out very well.
How did you get into the election?
How did I get into the election? Well, I'll tell you, Jenna, how old are you?
8.
You're 8. I was probably about 8 when I first decided I wanted to run for an election. It was probably I was about your age when I found out what elections were. And I said, that's something that I want to do. And I'll tell you, it's a true story. I was 17 years old. I was a senior at Woodbridge High School. The day that I not only knew I wanted to run for election, but that I knew for sure that what I wanted to do was serve in local government, serve on the Board of County Supervisors. And then, 16 years later, some friends of mine called me up and said, hey, we remember that when you were 17, you wanted to run for Board of County Supervisors. Do you still want to? Because there's an opportunity to do so. And I said, heck yeah. So, I've been here ever since.
From PWCS TV, Jenna Zargarpur, reporter.